Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Supergirl. So let's start talking about this episode. Now this is very much an aftermath episode of Astra's death, where we get to see that, Hank / John killed Astra, which we know as an audience that did not happen, actually was Alex. And throughout the episode, Alex is trying to tell Kara, but of course things happen that she can't. But let's say in the long run of the episode, because of lessons that Kara learns throughout the episode, we get to see that Kara does not trust John, and we'll see how that plays out in the next episode or the next couple of episodes. Other, I would say, build-up plots here are Supergirl's view of justice. That's definitely a big thing of this episode. Letting go Maxwell Lord in the end of the episode because of what she's learned about justice, because of the villain of the week, who is a guard from Fort Roz, who's killing all these people that were escaped from Fort Roz. But once again, Kara learns that justice is not black and white. And, of course, Supergirl, with her power, has to take the responsibility of justice and kind of carve her own definition of it. And that's why she does, in the long run, make Maxwell Lord escape. But, of course, they come up with a plan. That way, Maxwell Lord can't tell her secret identity. Now, other things happening in Kara's life as Kara is that we have a new assistant, who is now assistant number 1, Saban, which somehow Cat Grant pronounces her name right, but not Kara's name right, which I thought was hilarious. And, of course, Saban is played by the fabulous Italia Ricci, who I've been very excited to see on the show, because I was a big fan of her on Chasing Life. And she was great. We don't get to see the mystery of Silver Banshee yet, but we do get to see her as the arch nemesis of Kara. Now, I'm hoping in the episodes to come, maybe next episode, we'll learn and dig a little deeper into her character, the Silver Banshee curse and all that fun stuff, which, it seems like in the Flash Supergirl crossover, we will definitely get more of that, but I'm wondering if we'll get more of the Silver Banshee before that crossover. So that's kind of what's happening. And I will say this is more of a build-up episode. It was very much, again, putting pieces on the chessboard. Even saying that Non's going to be coming back in 2 weeks. That is very much a TV device, and I would say a very superhero device at this point, where the superhero has to do something, or the supervillain has to do something else, so they escape the screen for like 2 weeks or 4 weeks. I feel like that is currently happening a lot in superhero shows. Like Arrow did the same thing with Damien Dark, because they're like, hey, we want to explore different supervillains, so let's make the main supervillain kind of go off camera for a little while. And that's what they did in this episode, which I thought was kind of cool. Obviously they gave a reasoning to that, and then we're gonna see, an interesting episode after this with another villain, which I'll talk about towards the end of the review. But I really enjoyed a lot of obviously the Kryptonian mythology that they explore here. I love when they can bring Kryptonian heritage into the show, which they usually do at least every episode. And we actually saw a Kryptonian funeral where the female of the family actually sends the coffin off to space. And I thought it was cool that we got to learn a little bit about Kryptonian religion, which I thought was interesting to explore. I'm curious if that still is Kara's religion now that she's on Earth. Hopefully they can explore more of that in the future, because I thought that was kind of an interesting tidbit. Learning about the sun god of Krypton, which is obviously a very important thing to Superman mythology. So I thought that was cool. Now, like I said, this is very much putting pieces onto the chessboard. We get to, learn a little bit about Saban. We get to make Maxwell Lord escape the prison. But there wasn't anything big that happened in this episode. But I think that was needed, because with the last episode, too bad we had that little hiatus. But the last episode, we had a lot going on with Astra's death, and this is definitely Kara's realization and her emotions kind of going through of how she feels about this event, because we couldn't really see that in the last episode. But overall, I thought this was a very solid episode, had some fun moments overall, and introduced a lot of interesting elements to the show. Now, for the next episode, we're going to see, we had a little cliffhanger in this episode where Jimmy / James says that he wants to tell Lucy that Kara is Supergirl. Now, I'm personally okay with this, and I hope they do that, because the last kind of reveal we had on Supergirl didn't work out so well, and I was probably the most disappointed with that plot throughout the whole season. That was probably my most disappointing episode, was when Kat didn't actually find out that Kara was Supergirl. But I think Lucy's a trustworthy person, but at the same time, it'll be interesting what she does with that information because of who her father is. And yeah, I think it'll at least bring her more into the forefront, which I've not been complaining about, but I've been interested in, to see more of Lucy, because she is a, important character to Supergirl's mythology. So I hope it happens. I'm curious to see if Kara will do that. And allow James to tell Lucy. And it'll allow them to deal with unnecessary drama between the love, square at this point, which again is kind of a weaker part of Supergirl, in my opinion, is how they're dealing with the romances. But yeah, we'll see how that works out in the next episode. Something I'm also very excited about is, of course, Laura Vandervoort being in the next episode. I'm a huge fan of her, and I loved her as Supergirl in Smallville, and now we'll actually see all the live-action Supergirls in the first season of this show, and I'm really excited to see her play a villain. Already, excited from the previews to see more of her character. And also, we're going to go to the Fortress of Solitude next episode. Again, digging into more Kryptonian mythology, which again is something I really enjoy about the show, and I like that they could do every episode. So yeah, excited to see next episode and see what they explore as we get closer to the big crossover episode between Flash and Supergirl. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Of course, I have a review for Supergirl next week. Go check out my comic book review for The Adventures of Supergirl if you haven't already. That just was posted tonight. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.